Hi, welcome to the Summit Program's online Summit orientation. My name is Donna Poyant and I'm the coordinator of the Summit Program. This PowerPoint is going to give you a review of important information that you need to be aware of as a returning BSU student who will be participating in the Summit Program. I'm going to now disappear from your video screen, but please continue to watch the remainder of this PowerPoint. Thank you. For the remainder of this Summit online orientation, we're going to give you an overview of the Summit program, touch base on graduation requirements and academic policies, make sure you're ready to be returning to BSU, and we'll review your DegreeWorks audit and give you information on how to register for classes. The Summit program is an academic support program that assists students on your path to graduation. You will be assigned a Summit advisor to work with until your GPA is back above a 2.0. The orientation is the first step of this process, and then you will continue to meet with your Summit advisor throughout the semester. We look forward to working with you. The first step of the Summit program is this Summit orientation, which is taking place right now. Great, I'm so glad you're doing this. Next step would be to meet with your Summit advisor prior to the semester starting. Once you've done that, then we recommend you also check in with your Summit advisor at least once a month, and we may also consider having you work with an academic coach during the semester. All of the meetings this semester will be virtual, so they will either be phone meetings or video meetings online. But we are still here to support you through this process and are looking forward to working with you. Here's all your awesome Summit advisors who will be working with you this semester. Once you have completed this Summit orientation, you will receive an email with who your Summit advisor is and who you should schedule your first meeting with. You will also be able to access our Summit orientation website, which has really cool Flipgrid videos, so you can learn more about your Summit advisor. The official means of communication with students is your BSU email. Please make sure to check that daily. If you have not already, you may want to consider downloading the BSU mobile app too. There's a lot of good, useful information on it for students. If you're having an issue with either of these, please contact IT support at bridgew.edu. Moving on to the fun stuff, graduation requirements and academic policies. It is truly our hope in the Summit program to help you get to the point of graduation. We understand that it may not always be easy, but we are here to help and support you along your path. In order to graduate from Bridgewater, you need to complete 120 credits. Within those 120 credits, you need to complete your major requirements and also your core curriculum requirements. You also need to complete a certain amount of credits at BSU. Depending on if you're a transfer student, you are allowed to transfer up to 69 credits from a community college or two-year institution and up to 90 credits from another four-year school. GPA requirements are also part of graduation requirements. All students must have a 2.0 or higher GPA, and then depending on your major, you may be required to have an even higher GPA than that. Please check out the list on this screen and make sure to talk to your Summit advisor regarding your GPA requirements. Bridgewater utilizes a 4.0 grading scale, which means your letter grades correlate to numerical grades. So, for example, if you have an A, that's equivalent to a 4.0. If you have a C, that's 2.0. Please keep in mind that anything below a C or C minus is below the 2.0 range, and because we need to improve your GPA above a 2.0, it's really important to be getting grades of C+ or higher this semester. There are certain grades that do not calculate into your GPA. That includes if you withdraw from a class, if you maybe are marked as a walkaway from a class. There are also some courses that get S, U, or P for marks, which are satisfactory, unsatisfactory, or pass. Those won't impact your GPA, but you do need to pass these classes to advance to the next level classes. Also, incomplete is a situation where You are not getting your grade for the class yet because you still have to complete some coursework. Typically, you can work out a timeline to finish that coursework with your professor if they allow you to do that. If they do, you need to make sure you finish the work by the deadline to get your grade. While it's an incomplete, it does not impact your grade. At most, it has to be done by the end of the next semester, because if it's not done by the end of the next semester, that incomplete will turn into an F, and then it will impact your GPA. Please pay attention to the withdrawal deadline listed on this page, and make sure if you do have to withdraw from a course, discuss that with your advisor and your professor of the class, and then make sure to withdraw from the class by the semester deadline. We hope that by the end of this semester, you will be able to get your GPA back above 2.0 and you will not be on academic probation any longer. But if for some reason you are unable to do that in one semester, we do need you to at least get your GPA to fall within this chart based on the total credits you have earned. This will at least allow you to not run the risk of being dismissed from Bridgewater again and being allowed to return to school on academic probation for another semester. Upon your return to BSU, we are hoping that you do not get separated from the school again. If you were dismissed one time, it was for a semester, although you may have chosen to take longer than that off, which is fine. We want you to return when you are ready to come back. If you do get dismissed a second time, it is for a year. We in the Summit program are trying to avoid that, which is why we are providing this additional support to you on your return to BSU. Any student who has a GPA below 2.0 is considered on academic probation, and you are limited to only taking a maximum of 13 credits. We want you to take fewer classes and make sure you do well in those classes, rather than trying to take too many classes and not doing well. It's very important to have a good semester this first semester back. One way to help improve your GPA is by taking advantage of the repeat policy at BSU. You can repeat any course that you did not do well in, especially those you may have failed and still need to take. Credit is only awarded once for the class, so if you did happen to pass the class with a D- or higher, you will not earn additional credit for the class, but the new grade will help to improve your GPA. The newest grade is the grade that will calculate into your GPA when you repeat a class. The previous grade will not. It's always the most recent grade, not the best grade, the most recent grade. Some things to consider when thinking about whether or not you want to repeat a class are, can you do better in the class? If you can, I highly recommend repeating it. How will a repeat impact my financial aid? You should talk to the financial aid office, but in most cases, if it's your first repeat, it will be covered by financial aid. If you are utilizing VA or military benefits, you will want to check with our Veterans Center to see if the course will be covered. And the last thing to consider when repeating a course is whether or not you need to actually take this class again. It will depend on the requirements that you have already completed yet or not. Okay, now that that policy stuff is done, we want to make sure you're ready to come back to BSU. So we're going to talk about a few things, including College Theory 168, Trails to Success, and making sure your finances are in order. Okay, in case you didn't guess it by looking at the screen here, College Theory 168. 168 is pretty much all the time you have to work within a week. That's how many hours are in a week. And we want to make sure you're able to take care of everything you have going on in your life within those 168 hours. We've given you a handout. You can do this on your own time, but really, figure out where all your time is going, just so that you know you have the time to incorporate academics, classes, and studying back into your life. We've provided you with a Trail to Success handout as part of this online summit orientation. This is a great way for you to self-reflect upon your return to BSU. It's important to know why you're coming back to college and whether or not you are ready to be here this semester. Since you are doing this orientation, we believe you are ready to be here and we are welcoming you back and we want to help you along this path. But it's really important for you to understand what may have impacted your academics in the past while at BSU and plan for your future. Your trail to success will be shared with your summit advisor once you have submitted it back to me. We understand that you may have struggled in your previous time at BSU, and that's why we're here. We want to support you on your path to getting back into good academic standing. From working with students in the past, some of the reasons that we have found that students struggled academically were maybe because they did not take advantage of resources offered at BSU, may have worked too many hours, trying to balance work and school. You may have had difficulty adjusting to the demands of college life. There could have been personal or family problems happening, and through all of this, you may have missed too many classes. Another thing, thanks to the pandemic, that we're seeing with students is they have a difficulty with online classes. So we're here to help you on this path and help you navigate everything, again, to help you get back in good academic standing. You'll notice we added a sixth reason as students may struggle academically: difficulty with online classes. Thanks to the pandemic, most BSU classes are being offered online, and that's a huge transition for students. So be sure to talk with your academic advisor and academic coach about how we can help you with online classes. Also, check out this BSU online class support website, which can help you with learning about different online class formats, technical requirements and support, helpful resources for online learners, and success strategies for online students. To be a successful online student, you want to be able to interact with your classmates, your professors, understand your assignments, and take advantage of still learning while being in class online. Keys to academic success. The main one is to go to class or show up. Of course, this looks very differently this semester due to the pandemic and the fact that the majority of BSU classes will be online. Once you have your schedule, please make sure to pay attention to your professor's emails to learn how they plan to run their courses this semester. But even if you're not showing up in person, attending classes virtually and getting all your work done for the course is extremely important. With that being said, you really need to prioritize what you have going on in your courses and in your life to make sure that you can handle everything. Planning ahead is a key piece to prioritizing what you have going on. Also, asking for help. Your summit advisors are here to help you along the way, but so are your professors and other people at BSU. If you need any help, please ask for help. Lastly, it is upon you to study. In addition to showing up and going to your classes, you do need to put the time in to study and prepare for your classes. So, if you do all these things, hopefully you will have a very successful semester. There are tons of academic resources you could take advantage of while at BSU. We've already mentioned your summit advisor and your professors. You also have a faculty advisor within your major department that you can work with. The Academic Achievement Center, known as the AAC, also has plenty of academic support services. This includes academic coaches, tutors for select courses, the writing fellows, math tutors, accounting and finance tutors, second language services support, and disability resources and student accessibility services support. Across campus, there are also other offices that might be helpful to you. Career Services, the Wellness or Health Center, the Multicultural Center or Pride Center, or the Veterans Center if you're a military or veteran. Please take a moment to check out the AAC video when you have a chance. It's important that once your schedule is finalized that you get your books for your courses. You can buy them or rent them, but your books are a very important tool for you to be successful in your courses. So make sure to get your books for your classes. Returning to college can be expensive, so make sure you plan how you will pay for college for this upcoming semester. You may need to touch base with our financial aid office or student accounts in order to set up a payment plan. It's important to talk about financial aid. If you have not already done so, please submit your FAFSA. The priority deadline for BSU for submitting your FAFSA is March 1st for the next academic year. But if you have not submitted it yet, that's okay. You can still submit it. Please do it as soon as possible. In order to be eligible for financial aid, students have to maintain what is called Satisfactory Academic Progress, or SAP. The university and government look at three things in order for a student to be maintaining SAP. One is your GPA, one is your completion rate, and one is your maximum credits attempted maximum time frame in order to get your degree. If you have any questions about your SAP, you should follow up with the financial aid office. As a student in the Summit program, your GPA is below a 2.0, which means you are not currently maintaining SAP. You may fall under one of these three statuses depending on your specific financial aid situation. SAP warning, which means this is a warning semester for you with regard to your financial aid, and you need to get back in SAP in order to be eligible in future semesters, but you do not need to appeal. The second one is probation without an appeal. This might mean you made some good progress with regard to improving your SAP in the past, and the university is just going to continue your SAP probation, and you do not have to do an appeal. The last one does require students to do an appeal. This means that you may not be eligible for financial aid at the moment, and in order to be eligible, you need to submit an appeal to the financial aid office explaining your circumstances and why you are not maintaining SAP, and submit an appeal to see if you will be eligible to get financial aid for this upcoming semester. If your appeal is approved, you will be put on a financial aid contract. Any questions with regard to financial aid should be addressed to your financial aid counselor. This is a listing of financial aid counselors' contact information at BSU. You can locate your financial aid counselor by looking at the financial aid caseload last names column in this chart. Find the counselor based on your last name, and then you can contact that person. That person is your financial aid counselor. Okay, we're going to review your DegreeWorks audit now. If you have an opportunity to call up your DegreeWorks audit right now and follow along with your own audit, great. If not, make sure to review your DegreeWorks audit once this presentation is over. Your DegreeWorks audit shows you what you have completed at BSU or transferred into BSU from other schools, and what you still have to complete in order to earn your degree. It does not reflect any pending transfer credit. So if anyone still has transfer credit that they need to send to BSU, please take care of that as soon as possible. You can always access your DegreeWorks audit through InfoBear, and you should check it every semester before you register for classes. If you don't remember how to log into InfoBear or get to DegreeWorks, check out the below YouTube video tutorial for assistance, and it will give you a brief review of DegreeWorks on top of what I am going to review shortly. This link can be accessed through the non-narrated PowerPoint, or it can be accessed on the Summit Orientation online website page. Once you're in your DegreeWorks audit, this will be your specific audit. At the top of the audit, it will include some information like your name, your banner ID, your faculty advisor, and your Summit advisor will eventually be listed, whether or not you are cleared to register for classes, and whether or not you have any registration holds. That's important to be aware of. Other things that are important to be aware of in the middle column include your classification. Are you a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior? Your overall GPA, and your academic standing. In addition to that, you can also see if you transferred in any transfer credit. It will give you your transfer hours. And then on the far right, it's important to check and make sure your program or major is listed accurately. You will also see some test score information. That's more information for advisors to utilize to know what level English or math classes you should start in. If you scroll down a little in your DegreeWorks audit, you will first see an overview of everything you need to graduate. For this student, they're in the Bachelor of Science program. They're in the catalog year 2017-2018, and it tells you credits required 120 in order to graduate, which we've previously discussed. Credits applied refers to how many credits the student has already completed or may be in progress at the moment. So, the overview breaks down the core curriculum requirements and the program requirements and the GPA requirements. You will notice that the key includes a green check mark box for those things that are already completed, a red box for those things that need to be completed, and a blue squiggly box for those things that are currently in progress. If you are a mass transfer student, that basically means you have completed the majority of your core curriculum requirements at another Massachusetts community college or four-year university. Your degree audit should reflect this. If it does not, you should contact your previous institution that you transferred from to check on your mass transfer status. If you are mass transfer, then the majority of your core curriculum requirements should already have the green checkbox. The only courses in the core that you would have to complete at BSU if you did not transfer them to BSU would be your logical reasoning requirement, which for most students is Philosophy 111, and your spoken communication requirement, which could be either taking public speaking, COM 102, or oral interpretation, Theater 210. Again, if your DegreeWorks audit does not reflect mass transfer status and you think you are mass transfer, please follow up with your other institution that you transferred from, and please bring this up with your summit advisor. For all students who are not mass transfer, your degree audit will look like this, and it will break down all the core curriculum area courses that you need to complete at BSU if you have not already done so. Your core skills include English 101 and English 102, logical reasoning, a math course, and a second quantitative reasoning course. Sometimes your math and quantitative reasoning courses are dependent upon your major. Please make sure to talk to your advisor about that. All students also have to complete a first and second year seminar at BSU. If you are a transfer student, you may have been waived from one or both of these depending on how many credits you transferred into BSU. In addition to seminars, students also have to take a public speaking or oral interpretation class, as already mentioned, COM 102 or Theater 210, and then a combination of 3 writing and speaking intensive classes. 2 have to be writing intensive. The third could be either writing intensive or speaking intensive. Please note, first and second year seminar classes, if you do have to take those, are always a writing or speaking intensive class. Additional core curriculum areas include your core distribution, which are fine and performing arts classes, humanities, your sciences, and social and behavioral sciences. You can check out how many additional courses in each of these areas you need to take by looking to the right, and it will tell you still needed 2 courses or still needed 1 course. It really depends on what you've already taken so far to know how many more you need to take. Again, pay attention on the left to whether or not you have a green check mark, a blue squiggly, or a red box. That will let you know if you are completed with an area. An area will not switch to a green check mark until all courses in that area are complete. For example, in the humanities, this student is enrolled in a history course, but in addition to that history course they are taking, they are still going to need 2 more humanities classes before that area will be complete. In addition to the core distribution, there are some additional distribution areas. Those are known as global culture requirements, multicultural requirements, and your U.S. Mass Constitution requirement. Courses in these areas can sometimes overlap with courses in the core distribution area. For example, that same History 111 class, which counts as a humanities, also counts as a global and multicultural class. So sometimes you can take one course and it fulfills more than one area. The nice thing about your DegreeWorks audit is that it includes links. So if, for example, you were looking for a global culture course and you weren't sure what courses fall in that category, you could click on the link on the right where it says one class in attribute GCL, and a box will show up and give you a list of course offerings. And then you can check out and decide what class you might want to take in that area. If you continue to scroll through your DegreeWorks audit, then your major program block will come up. Your major will be listed along with the credits required for your major and credits applied on the far right. And then it will list out all the courses that you need to take and complete within your major. Again, on the left, if there's a green check mark or a blue squiggly, those classes are completed or in progress. If there's a red box, that means those are courses that you still need to take in order to finish your degree. If you look to the right, where you are still required to take some of the classes, you can click on the links of those classes to get more information about the course, including course descriptions and any prerequisites that may be needed before you can take a particular class. Below your major, you will notice that your major GPA and residency requirement is listed. This is where you can learn what you need for a minimum GPA within your major courses. Your major GPA is only figured out based on the courses that are the 4 subject code that you've taken in your major. For example, this student is a criminal justice major, so only their CRJU courses will count within their major GPA. That will be listed and it will tally your major GPA for you. Residency requirement has to do with how many credits you need to complete at BSU. In order to earn a bachelor's degree from BSU, you have to complete a certain number of credits at BSU. For purposes of your major, you typically have to take at least 50% or half of your major courses at BSU to get that degree from BSU. You have to be concerned with both your major GPA, your overall GPA, and your residency requirements in order to graduate from BSU. It's important that your major is a good fit for you. Hopefully that is the case and you're all set. But if for some reason you are thinking about changing your major or even adding a minor, this is something that you can talk to your summit advisor about. You can also run what's called a What If DegreeWorks audit when you're in DegreeWorks and process that What If audit to see what courses you might need to take in a different major or what courses you might need to take if you were thinking about adding a minor. The last part of your audit shows your electives, insufficient, and in-progress courses. Electives are courses that count towards your 120 credits for graduation, but do not count within the core or within your major. For those of you who are mass transfer students, you will see a lot of courses listed under electives. That's just how they fall within the DegreeWorks audit. Insufficient shows any courses that you may have withdrawn from, failed, got marked as a walkaway, or are incomplete. These courses are not counting towards graduation credit because you did not earn the credit for them yet. So, insufficient is a really good area to check out in order to decide whether or not you might need to repeat a course. If you look to the far right of the insufficient, you will actually see whether or not you may have already repeated a course because it will list repeat, which signifies you have already repeated that course. But if you don't see repeat listed, then that's something to think about repeating that course. In progress is the last section, and that is basically the courses that you are currently registered for. If you do not see any courses there yet, it's because you're not enrolled in the next semester. But once you are registered for the next semester, you will see those classes listed. Okay, we're almost done with this presentation. A few more slides to go, but it looks like we're getting all your ducks in a row. I mean, look at how cute that photo is. And then you should be done with this online orientation and ready to register for courses. A few things to keep in mind as you're building your schedule and getting ready to register for courses. If you register for 12 or fewer credits, you can take a combination of evening and day classes and there will be no extra charge. But if you register for 13 or more credits, and some of those credits are evening courses, which mean classes that start 4 p.m. or later, you may have an additional night charge for those classes. You will want to check with student accounts to see how much of an impact it will make to your bill. Considering this semester you can't register for a maximum of more than 13 credits, it shouldn't be too bad, but in future semesters it could get costly. If you are a student taking advantage of using military or GI benefits, you will want to talk to the Veterans Center to see if evening courses have any additional fees for you. Web and web hybrid courses, depending on the time that they start, you should check InfoBear to see if they are a day or evening rate class. Again, courses that start 4 p.m. or later are evening classes. If the class starts before 4 p.m., even if it ends after 4 p.m., that's considered a day class. One other thing to be aware of, if you are taking a web course, and by web course I mean the ones that are actually listed in the system as W in the section number, those courses cost an additional $100. If you don't remember how to search or register for courses, check out the below YouTube video tutorials for assistance. You can access these video tutorials either in the non-narrated PowerPoint or by going to the Summit Orientation online webpage. Okay, here's what you can do next in the registration process. You should open InfoBear and DegreeWorks in two different tabs. Review your DegreeWorks audit so you can know which courses you've already completed and which courses you still need to complete towards your degree. If you have any pending credits that you have not submitted to the admissions office yet, please send your academic transcript from any other universities or community colleges to the admissions office as soon as possible. You can go into DegreeWorks or InfoBear to look up courses. Keep in mind if you have to repeat any courses. If you are repeating a course that you failed, you should be able to just register for it. If you are repeating a class that you passed with a D- or higher, you will need to fill out the repeat request form and email that to me before you can sign up for your course. Hi, I'm back again. Congratulations, you're almost done with your online summit orientation. This is the last slide. What you have left to do now is to fill out your completed registration form and also your Trail to Success. And please submit that to dpoyant@bridgew.edu. Once you submit that to me, I'll be able to review the courses you're interested in taking next semester and then get you cleared so that you can register for your classes. Also, just a quick reminder, if you are having any issues logging into your InfoBear email or Blackboard, please contact our IT support desk at itsupport@bridgew.edu. And just keep in mind, classes start for next semester, January 27th. All right, thanks. If you have any questions, please reach out to myself or your Summit advisor. If you have not already received an email with your Summit advisor's information, you will be getting one shortly. So keep an eye out for that and continue to follow the steps that you need to do to complete your orientation process and finish registering for classes. Thanks.